everyone, welcome back to my podcast, and today we are going to talk about discipline. But we can't talk about discipline without mentioning one of the greatest books written on this topic, Atomic Habits by James Clear. But before we say that, why do we need these habits in our everyday lives? Just start with identifying this formula. So we have 365 days in a year. If we become 1% better each day, we end up 37 times better at the end of the year. While if we become 1% worse every day, we will end up almost zero. It means that even small improvements each day end up to something bigger at the end of the year. This is the result of positive compounding. Right now, since we know that daily improvements are important, now let's get back to work. How we are gonna change our habits. I like these 3 layers of behavior change mentioned in the book. So we have outcome, process, and identity. Improvements are temporary until they become part of who you are. But in real life, all of us, just pay attention to the outcome-based change. When we say, I want to start running, or I want to lose weight, right? This is called the outcome-based change, but we need to make it part of our identity. So how? Instead of saying, I want to lose weight, we're gonna say, I want to become a healthy person, or I want to become a runner. So, the main question we have to ask ourselves is to decide, who do you wish to become? This is the answer that will lead us to identity type of change, and after that, the outcome comes in a natural way. But how can you change something what you don't notice, right? If you want to change something, you have to first identify that this is something bad and you want to improve it. I'm going to read one of the greatest psychologists, Carl Jung's words. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it a fate. So, first, we have to identify what are we doing on a daily basis. For that, we're going to use habit scorecard technique. What is it? We're going to write down on a paper. Here's the paper. Here is the pen. We're going to write down all our daily habits, like once you wake up and before you go to the university or you go to the work, like what are you doing? Even such small things like brushing your teeth and stuff like that. You're going to write down. And you're going to write down like how much time you spend on that thing. Why? For example, for a year, I had this goal to start learning at least 1 hour in the morning before I would go to work. And I couldn't. I mean, it wasn't about the studying part. I was even late at work. So I used this technique, and you know what I caught? That the problem was not about getting up early, because I was getting up early. I was waking up at 7 a.m. in the morning. But I then took a phone just to check the email. Then it went like 1 hour scrolling Instagram and social media and the stuff, you know what we do. So yeah, that was the problem. But I didn't know that before. I didn't write it down on a daily habit scorecard. So you have to do the same thing. I'm happy if phone is not a problem in your life and you might have different issue, right? But you have to also identify what's the problem in your life. So use this technique. Okay. Another technique I'd like to share with you is called planning one. To write down exactly the activity you want to do, at what time and where, instead of saying just that I want to exercise more, I want to start running, like when, where, how, like write down the detailed plan. And there and then it will be much easier for you to follow. But here comes the first but. We humans are lazy by nature, so I'm gonna share with you the law of least effort that you might also use in your life. The idea is that if you want to do something new that you haven't done before, for example, you want to start playing the guitar, go and put your guitar in the living room where you will check it every day and you will see it, rather than just putting it in the wardrobe and thinking like, oh, I will go and get this guitar like every day. No, you will be lazy. Put it in a place that you will see frequently. Or you want to start working out, put your working out clothes on a chair. It will be much easier for you. Tomorrow when you get up, you will see this clothes and you'll be like, okay, this is the day I'm gonna go to the gym, rather than just putting it I don't know where. Okay, use this technique whatever you want to do something new. Put it um, uh, put it somewhere there where you will see it on regularly on a daily basis, and you won't have to put too much effort for getting it right. We talked about improving, having good habits, how to improve something, but here comes the most challenging part, the secret to self control. In the book, James Clear shares two techniques about the self control. One is to resist the temptation, and another one is to make it invisible. Resist temptation. What is it? It's short-term solution. In the short term, you can break a bad habit, but you are unlikely to forget it because you might be doing it for years and it's wired in your brain, right? It's written down in your brain. So it takes much more effort to kind of remove this habit from your brain. And in the long run, we become the product of the environment we live in. We might go and control the internal factors within ourselves, but we can never control the external factors, right? There might some challenges happen in the life, some, I don't know, might face to stressful situations, and at the time, like, it takes too much effort to resist your temptation. So for that, James Clear suggests to go with this technique, make it invisible. How? You have problem with your phone, put it in another room. If it's not enough, go and delete the social media. If you're spending too much time watching TV in your bedroom, take and move the TV out of your bedroom. Make it invisible. This is the technique which gives you results in the long run. Another technique is called temptation bundling. What is it? We have to trick our brain. How we are gonna do it? So, brain release dopamine whenever we expect a reward. It's not that we should be getting this reward to release the dopamine. No, even during the expectation, right? So, if we say that I'm gonna study this and after that I'm gonna watch my favorite TV series, we are tricking our brain. So it wants to go and finish this task we have to do as soon as possible to go and then watch our favorite show. It will be difficult in the beginning to start, but after some time, the brain will be reshaped. Formula is like this: after the habit I need to do, I will do the habit I want. This is the formula. But don't forget, whatever new activity you are choosing to do, it not be too hard or too easy for you. You have to be in your Goldilocks zone. What's that? If a task is too easy, you get bored and you lose motivation. If it's too hard, you get frustrated and you still lose motivation. So we need to be in a state of flow. The task we do should be roughly 4% beyond our current ability. That's the state of flow and Goldilocks zone. Here's my thought for you today. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you wish to become. Ask yourself, who do you want to become?